We call in Creator Energy to assist us in dealing with the fullness of every day and the speed with which they move. We ask to be guided and protected always, for there is a pressure and much requirement for things to be attended to. We can rest in knowing you have our backs, that we are able and capable of facing whatever comes. Sometimes more patience is required. Sometimes muscling through a difficult situation is what is necessary. Going with the flow without knowing the destination, result, or outcome can actually be freeing if we practice the phrase, let go and let God. Above all, let us express gratitude for the presence of one another as we stand firm in our I am. All of us here are here for a reason. So let us just say thank you, thank you, thank you.
Hello, my name's Ron Vroman. I'm still looking for a deputy court clerk. This is living testimony in the form of an affidavit of truth. Notice and demand for bona fides, credentials, and proof of authority regarding case number 26PB02355 in the matter of Aida C. Vroman. Receipt number 2026-418244, $281. Notice, I am Ronald C. Vroman, competent to testify in the matter herein stated, provided the living testimony in the form of an affidavit of truth. I am the surviving spouse of Aida C. Vroman. I am known as one of the people. I am also known as Ronald Vroman, the common man, private, Ronald Charles Vroman, in longhand on my birth certificate and trustee for the Private Membership Association, all caps Ronald Charles Vroman. I have been identified as a private attorney general, qualified criminal investigator, and federal witness, and by living testimony. I am the clerk for our civilian common law and equity court of record, having implemented ex parte Milligan, nullifying martial law, Lieber Code, FEMA, with Article 1, Section 1 of Oregon's Constitution, the Jural Provisional Government on Oregon, also known as the Oregon Statewide Jural Assembly, Article 3, 1 Supreme Court, claiming original jurisdiction under Article 3, 1859, and Amendment 7. I testify that my status has been identified without rebuttal in the public record of the City of Beaverton, the Beaverton Municipal Court, and the United States Federal District Court, Portland, Oregon. I am a United States Navy veteran, discharged under service number 5159365. I am a man on Oregon, an Oregonian, a continuous traveler until lately. Born August 14, 1939, Reno, Nevada. Governing law asserted. With full faith and credit, I establish as governing law in this document one unanimous declaration of the 13 United States of America, 1776, the 1777 Articles of Confederation and Perpetual Union, Oregon's original Constitution, circa 1859, the United States of America's Constitution, circa 1859, Bouvier's Law Dictionary, 6th edition, 2-volume, 1856, the Maximum of Common Law, the Clearfield Doctrine, the Accardi Doctrine, Ex Parte Young, Ex Parte Milligan, the McCarran-Walters Act of 1952, the Judiciary Act of 1789, Section 32, and judgment nihil dicit. The words used herein are understood according to their lawful and historical meanings. I specifically invoke Article 7, all caps, Article 3, upper and lower, and Amendment 7, upper and lower. I do not concede that the designation Article 7 amended, appearing in 1910 by its label alone, established the original Article 7 was lawful, altered, repealed, extinguished, or displaced. The original Article 7 remains. The constitutional provisions I invoke, unless the party claiming otherwise establishes the lawful act and authority by which it was altered. Court, judge, jury, and clerk. I specifically distinguish a court from a judge. A judge is not a court. A court and a judge are not synonymous. Under the common law and equity structure invoked herein, the court is constituted through its judiciary tribunals and a clerk. The judge is one of the three tribunals when judging the law. The judge determines the facts where the right to a jury attaches. The jury determines the facts where the right to jury trial attaches. The clerk performs the function belonging to the office of clerk of the court. The judge, therefore, cannot simply be substituted for the whole court. A claims probate department, administrative department, clerk's office, commissioner, or individual judicial official does not establish the constitutional court merely by using the word court. Prior notice and failure to rebut. For approximately 8 years, I have provided notice to public officials, governmental offices, courts, law enforcement officers, prosecutors, and other persons concerning the matters stated herein. These notices have included claims, demands concerning constitutional authority, jurisdiction, original jurisdiction, judicial authority, venue, status, law form, probate, foreclosure, fraud, jury authority, public office credentials, constitutional judicial power, and the authority claimed over my person, property, and rights. I testify that these matters have been presented repeatedly. The persons in offices receiving these notices have repeated opportunities to answer, rebut, deny, or otherwise respond. I further testify that on numerous occasions during approximately the last 8 years, those receiving notice failed to rebut the specific allegations and demands presented to them. I therefore rely upon my prior notices, affidavits, records, publications, proof of service, and other documents as evidence of notice and absence of rebuttal. Nothing herein requires any recipient to accept an allegation merely because it is stated. The recipient is instead required to identify specifically what is denied and provide the factual and constitutional basis for that denial. Demand to the officials exercising authority. This notice is directed to the persons and officers exercising or claiming authority concerning me, my property, the estate of Aida C. Vroman, case number 26PB02355, probate, foreclosure, fraud, or related proceedings, including the Washington County Sheriff, the Washington County District Attorney, the presiding trial court administrator, the judicial officer exercising authority in case number 26 PB 02355, and any other officer claiming authority over the matters identified herein. Each person claiming such authority is required to identify their bona fides, credentials, constitutional authority, statutory authority, and lawful source of power upon which that claim rests. Required proof of authority. Each officer is requested to provide with specificity the constitutional provisions claimed as the source of authority, the statutory provisions claimed as the source of authority, the statutory provisions claimed as the source of authority, the officer's precise official capacity, the instrument establishing the officer's appointment, election, or other lawful qualifications, the oath required for that office, the bond required for that office, the government entity on whose behalf the officer acts, the status under which Ronald C. Vroman is claimed to be a subject to the proceedings, jurisdiction claimed, the venue claimed, and the authority establishing that venue, the law form under which the proceeding is being conducted, the territorial jurisdiction claimed, the subject matter jurisdiction claimed, the claim basis for personal jurisdiction over Ronald C. Vroman, the specific authority claimed concerning probate, the specific authority claimed concerning foreclosure, the specific authority claimed concerning fraud, the specific authority by which the officer may act against my person or property, the constitutional authority claimed for the judicial proceedings, the authority established, the authority establishing the court in which the proceeding is being conducted, the authority establishing the judicial officer who is acting, the authority establishing the jury pool relied upon by that court, and the authority establishing the right of that particular tribunal to exercise the claimed original jurisdiction. Case number 26 PB 02355. Concerning case number 26 PB 02355, I specifically demand identification of the court claiming original jurisdiction, the constitutional provision establishing that jurisdiction, the statutory provision relied upon for that jurisdiction, the judicial officer exercising the claimed jurisdiction, the judicial officer's credentials and lawful qualifications, the authority by which the probate department acts, the authority by which any probate officer or commissioner acts, the authority by which my person is claimed to be subject to the proceedings, and the authority by which my objection was subjected to a $281 filing fee. Receipt number 2026418-244. $281. Payment of the $281 does not constitute comment, waiver, acquiescence, or admission that the charge is unlawful. That the charge is lawful. I expressly preserve my demand to return the $281 upon establishing that the fee was unlawfully imposed. Demand concerning the original jurisdiction. The party claiming original jurisdiction over me shall identify the court possessing the claimed original jurisdiction, the constitutional provision vesting that original jurisdiction, the lawful source of that jurisdiction, the facts establishing jurisdiction over the particular controversy, the authority establishing jurisdiction over my person, the authority establishing jurisdiction over the property or the estate at issue, and the authority by which the particular tribunal may exercise that jurisdiction. A mere assertion of jurisdiction exists is not the requested proof of jurisdiction. Preservation of rights. Nothing in this document shall be construed as consent of jurisdiction, waiver of jurisdictional objections, waiver of constitutional rights, admission to the validity of my purported will, admission of the validity of my purported trust, the admission of validity of my foreclosure, the admitted validity of my governmental action, or abandon any claims previously made. I appear for the purpose of protecting my rights and interests and expressly preserving all objections. Good faith and clean hands. This communique is not intended to mislead, defraud, deceive, or threaten in any way. It is submitted in good faith with clean hands. This is my living testimony and my best effort to place the facts, authorities, demands, and objections upon the record. I request a specific response to the substance of this notice, respectfully submitted. Living testimony in the form of an affidavit of truth. Ronald C. Vroman, one of the people, surviving spouse. And that was filed and dated. And I yield.
They do not want to let go of this. They do not intend on losing here. And we do not intend giving it back to them.
And then the bullets started flying. Then he jumps out of the car, and he's got both his hands up. And he got out of the car, and he had his hands in the air. He's like, just shoot me then. This is what you want, just shoot me. And they did. They shot him dead. With his hands in the air, and I saw it. I swear to God. He was just walking with his hands in the air. And they shot him. And they shot him dead, and then after he was down on the ground, they shot him 3 more times.